Alright, guys, this is going to be speaking assignment number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, as you sit here today, the world is running out of water. Already, more than 2.8 billion people find themselves without enough running water, and roughly 1 of every 6 people on the planet is water stressed. Popular theories as to why there is such water scarcity almost always begin with climate change. Climate change has caused receding glaciers, reduced stream and river flow, and shrinking lakes and ponds. Many aquifers have been overpumped and are not recharging quickly. Although the total fresh water supply has not been used up, much of it has become polluted, salted, unsuitable, or otherwise unavailable for drinking. A New York Times article, Southeast Drug Study Ties Water Shortage to Population, Not Global Warming, summarizes the findings of a Columbian University researcher on the subject of the droughts in the American Southeast between 2005 and 2007. The findings published in the Journal of Climate say that the water shortages resulted from population size more than rainfall. Census figures show that Georgia's population rose from 6.48 to 9.54 million between 1990 and 2007. After studying data from weather instruments, computer models, and measurements of tree rings, which reflect rainfall, they found that the droughts were not unprecedented and were a result of normal climate patterns and random weather events. Around 1/5 of the world's population currently lives in regions affected by physical water scarcity, where there is inadequate water resources to meet a country's or regional demand, including the water needed to fulfill the demand of ecosystems to function effectively. Arid regions frequently suffer from physical water scarcity. It also occurs where the water seems abundant but where resources are overcommitted, such as when there is overdevelopment of hydraulic infrastructure for irrigation or for oil fracking. Symptoms of physical water scarcity include environmental degradation and declining groundwater, as well as other forms of exploitation or overuse. Economic water scarcity is caused by a lack of investment in infrastructure or technology to draw water from rivers, aquifers, or other water sources, or insufficient human capacity to satisfy the demand for water. 1/4 of the world's population is affected by economic water scarcity. Symptoms of economic water scarcity include lack of infrastructure, causing the people without reliable access to water to have to travel long distances or fetch water that is often contaminated from rivers for domestic and agricultural uses. Large parts of Africa suffer from economic water scarcity. Developing water infrastructure in those areas could therefore help to reduce poverty. Critical conditions often arise for economically poor and politically weak communities living in an already dry environment. It has also been claimed primarily by economists that the water situation has occurred primarily because of a lack of property rights. Vegetation and wildlife are fundamentally dependent upon adequate freshwater resources. Marshes, bogs, and riparian zones are more obviously dependent upon sustainable water supply, but forests and other upland ecosystems are equally at risk of significant productivity change as water availability is diminished. And now on to my conclusion. So, what are we to do about such an important issue? Construction of wastewater treatment plants and reduction of groundwater overdrafting appear to be obvious solutions to the worldwide problem. However, a deeper look reveals more fundamental issues in play. Wastewater treatment is highly capital intensive, restricting access to this technology in some regions. Furthermore, the rapid increase in population of many countries makes this a race that is difficult to win. As if those factors are not daunting enough, one must consider the enormous cost and skill sets involved to maintain wastewater treatment plants, even if they are successfully developed. Reduction in groundwater overdrafting is usually politically very unpopular and has major economic impacts to farmers. Moreover, this strategy will necessarily reduce crop output, which is something the world can ill afford, given the population levels at present. Thank you for listening, and let me know how you guys think I did.